So all three of these players started with the same class, and then CBD starting with the Venomous Fangs. I'm assuming he's going to go for Tree Sentinel here. He's the only one going for Tree Sentinel. The other three players are... Oh, actually, wait, hold on. No, they can start with Bastard Sword, but I'm assuming CBD just favors the Venomous Fangs over Bastard Sword, maybe thinking that the deadly poison from that will actually make the fight a little bit quicker on Tree Sentinel. Honestly, not a bad call. Not a bad call. Full screen the browser. I'll full screen your... There. Sounds good, Speed. Have a good one, man. Everyone pretty much at the door at the same time. Yeah, Chris a little bit in the lead here. He's got his momentum and no pants on. Typical Chris. No, I want them to be this big, dog. And Chris possibly is going for Tree Sentinel here. Looks like he's booking straight for it. And it looks like that Aggy might be contesting Tree Sentinel. Yeah, okay, Chris is already locking on to Tree Sentinel. He's definitely doing Tree Sentinel +0. And so is Aggy. Okay, so they're both going to be competing when it comes to Tree Sentinels. Okay, Aggy going straight for a stamp upward cut here. Going to be using that Ash of War. Does miss his second stamp uppercut, though. Chris just going for R1s at first, but now is going for some stamp uppercuts as well. Currently, Chris is in the lead by a good chunk here. Goes for a charged R2, just get that stagger. Then should go for another charged R2. Just goes for an R1 instead. Charged R2 again from Chris here. And Aggy actually dies to Tree Sentinel. This is a free square from Chris as long as he doesn't screw up here. Doesn't have any stamina. Has to be very careful. Chris also dies to Tree Sentinel. Oh my good heavens. Lingering hitbox from the shoulder thrusts. Aggy now going back to the elevator. Maybe he notices. He's like, wait, Tree Sentinel's still up. Why is Tree Sentinel still up? Is Chris not going for it? A little confused. On the other screen here, though, we got Tom almost at the Aligil Lake North's Grace. CBD reaching the Gatefront Grace. Both players now trying to possibly get ready again for a good old Tree Sentinel. Chris lowering the elevator and sitting at the Grace to reset it faster, and then running back up. Does Aggy still go for the Tree Sentinel here? I really wonder. Is he going to grab the Grace for safety? No, he is not. He's going to go straight past it. All right, Tom going straight over to what seems to be possibly a Third Church of America, possibly doing duelists, actually. And Aggy going straight past Tree Sentinel, expecting that Chris is going to mark it here. Chris going for the safety Grace at first step, and going back for Tree Sentinel, it looks like. So this is a free square for Team Star Zero Tom, because Aggy is not going for Tree Sentinel. Or maybe he is. He is going for Tree Sentinel. He turned around. He decided, you know what, never mind. He's right here. I'm going to give it a shot. Currently, Chris in the lead with that charged R2, getting a stop attack from Tree Sentinel here. Aggy trying to get some attacks off, but Tree Sentinel's like, I'm going to fade out. You know what I mean? I wasted too much time past the church. I'm going to go back to where I belong, and goes back onto the pathway. Definitely losing a lot of time here for Aggy. Chris here going for another charge R2. He's got to be a little careful here. A little bit low on red juice. Does drink a healing potion, a.k.a. a flask. Guy's got a nice roll here. Has to be careful about his stamina. Another little strong attack here from Tree Sentinel. Gets another charged R2 off. Boom. Stagger from Chris here. Aggy now on Tree Sentinel. Chris cannot see shit in this camera angle. Has got to be a little careful here. Charged R2 on Chris's end. Aggy getting a nice little stamp uppercut here on his Tree Sentinel. And we have Tom on the duelists. Tom going for stamp uppercut cheese on the duelists, knocking him up into the air. Gets a nice stagger. Aggy getting a nice dodge off. Not going to get a stagger, though. Chris here, really low on the Tree Sentinel. Gets a nice little cancel animation on the Tree Sentinel. One more stamp uppercut should do it. There it is. Tree Sentinel on the board here for Chris. Going to take that, snipe that away from Aggy. Aggy going to see that on the board now. Going to be like, damn it, why did I take so much time to go get the Grace and not consider it? He could have easily have gotten it. Sorry, I'm choking on my own spit. There's so much happening. And there is one duelist now down for Tom. As CBD here on the Falling Star Beast. Now, Aggy's still finishing the Tree Sentinel, possibly for 8 Limgrave bosses, but also a Halberd check, so that's a good weapon check here. There is the kill for Aggy on the top right screen, top left screen. Going to be getting that enemy felled and also the Halberd, which is Loretta's War Sickle. Not a great weapon. Venomous Fangs here on Falling Star Beast for CBD. That should be just fine. Using Rot Grease possibly and Deadly Poison. That's a nice little double tick action here for the Falling Star Beast. That bar is definitely burning. And it switches to the Partisan now for some charged R2s. He gets the double tick. He's like, you know what? All right, let me go for some Impaling Thrusts, which I think is a really good idea. Impaling Thrust is a little bit of a, I would say, underutilized Ash of War. Very, very strong, actually. Aggy here are going to be going for the Gatefront Grace, the same as Chris. Basically at the in sync here, while Tom is going in through his second Catacomb now, going for that Erdtree Watchdog. CBD having a really great Falling Star Beast fight here. Gets the Meteor pull-up. I don't know what the hell you call that. I don't know, Meteor Mash? That's Pokemon, but who cares? That kind of fits that move too. Oh, gets a little greedy there. Gets the second tail swipe. Does get a hit. Has to make sure that he doesn't get hit again because he will die. Drinks a flask here just to make sure that he stays alive. Chris going straight to Stormhill Shack. While Aggy actually goes to Round Table. Going to be checking the shop potentially. That rot is still ticking, by the way. This rot's putting in a bunch of work. Rivers of Blood and Club are in the shop here. Probably the two most notable weapons. Everything else is kind of mediocre. One more Impaling Thrust here on the Falling Star Beast, and there it is for CBD. Falling Star Beast on the board. And Tom now going into his next Catacomb here. Watchdogs going to be his 2 Catacombs completed, and another Limgrave boss. Nice little fight here from Tom. Gets the little stander. He's got to be careful waiting for that attack. And then goes for the stamp uppercut. Gets a nice little stagger here on the Watchdog. Goes for the riposte. Boom. That's a lot of damage. That's a +0, by the way. I'm pretty sure anyways. Does a nice little jump attack here. Jump R2. Does miss the R2, sadly. But gets some nice dodge. Just a little bit a slash here from the cat. He's got to be a little careful here. Gets the nice roll off. There it is. That is 2 Watchdogs here for Team Star Zero Tom. That's another square. Blocking off column 5. Very well done. Chris now currently past Stormhill Shack near Bernal. Possibly just getting some graces ready. Checking Bernal as well. And Aggy here now at Stormhill Shack as well. CBD making his way towards what could be potentially double Watchdog? Or maybe Magma Worm. I think he's going for the Magma Worm, actually. That would make sense. Which is all the way on the opposite side of where he's standing right now. Pumpkinheads? No, Magma Worm. Magma Worm, column 1, row 4, Magma Worm boss. And Chris here going for the Deathbird very early on here in Limgrave. Deathbird jumping off the ruins, saying, see you later. Come down here if you want to fight. Those trolls might aggro because he is at the bottom here. Got to be careful. Those bats are not having a good time. That one Holy Pot dealing a lot of damage, though, to that Deathbird. Gets the facial riposte here. Throws another Holy Pot. Should have thrown it at the head. It would have been killed him. That bat grabbing onto Chris, though, poking out his eyeballs. He's got to be really careful here. Throws one more Holy Pop. That is the kill here on that Deathbird. Very, very close here for Chris, but does get the kill here. That's another Limgrave boss for Chris on the board. And one Deathbird. CBD now currently in the tunnel, going for that Magma Worm in column 1, row 4. Going to be grabbing possibly some Smithing 4s there on the wall as well. Doesn't look like he is. He doesn't care. Going to be going straight for that boss fight. Aggy currently going through Limgrave, going to Third Church of America, potentially grabbing the Physic Flask. And Tom here currently in Jarburg. Going to be grabbing the Cracked Pots here. Does have that marked on his bingo card. That is on column 1, row 2. Very scary fall. Tom Giles in Jarburg. Look at that. Look at that, chat. That's crazy. A very rare occurrence. A magma fight here now from CBD. Does get the deadly poisoning off on the magma worm. Goes for some R2s and impaling thrusts on the head of the magma worm. Gets some really nice RNG of not having him run all over the place. Has got to be careful, though. Misses one impaling thrust. One more should do it to knock him out here. Here we go, impaling. And boom, there it is. There's the stagger for CBD. Get some R1s maybe. And then go for the riposte. Goes for that charged R2. Another charged R2. Does not go for the riposte in this case. And goes for some more impaling thrusts. Chris grabbing a lot more sunflowers here to make sure that he has enough holy pots for the deathbirds. Does the deathbird in weeping here. And has one holy pot as well. Trying to try and bait out that stagger on this deathbird so he can try and throw a holy pot on the head. One more jumping R2 should do it. There is the stagger. The bats, however, are not liking that Chris is really bothering their friend here. Gets grabbed by the bats and gets absolutely destroyed. Bleeding out and weeping. Weeping indeed. As Chris cries his way back to the next grace. Nice little crackpot here from Tom. Now currently going back to Limgrave. Going to be buying the cracked pots from Kale to possibly finish off the square. While Aggy now making his way towards what could be the Trina Lilies. CBD currently still fighting that magma worm. Deadly poison still applied onto this magma worm. Has to go for some impaling thrusts. And should have this fight very, very soon. Deadly poison just wore off. Goes for some more impaling thrust. Nice stagger here. Possibly some R1s onto the face. There we go. Go for the riposte right after. But he doesn't. Goes for some more R1s instead. Thinks it's too much of a waste of time. Impaling thrust. There it is on the magma worm. And that is another kill on the board here for CBD. Killing the Fallen Star Beast and magma worm. Blocking off column 1. Aggie here grabbing some money and the sleep pot recipe, while Tom currently is in the Bofa cave. Going to be grabbing this cracked pot right here, and boom, is that 10? That seems to be 10. He's looking for that square. He marks it. There it is, 3-2 currently for Star Zero Tom as he goes into the Bofa cave now to finish out that job. Chris currently on that Deathbird in Weeping. Has 2 holy pots this time, and hopefully also has a stagger coming up here on this Deathbird. Has to be careful here. A little bit of Death Blight from that Deathbird. And 3 bats now joining the party. There's got to be a little careful here. That Deathbird actually doing Chris a little bit of a favor here. One-shotting all 3 bats with one little cane swipe. Guess that's charged R2s off on his boss. One more headshot. One more charged R2 should possibly do it. He misses his charged R2. I don't know how that missed. Chris himself baffled by that. Gets the charged R2. Now has to get one more to get that stagger. Roll here into his charged R2. Does a jumping R2 instead. There's the stagger. Throw some health pots. Some holy pots into the head. Hits the neck instead. That turkey neck did not like that holy pot. 2 more charged R2s should do it. One more R1 instead. It's got to be a little careful here. Playing a little risky. Jumping R2 should take care of it. That's the second Deathbird here for Chris on the board. Tom here checking the Greatsword chest. Gets Gargoyle's Greatsword. Not the worst weapon. Does some decent base damage, but I don't know if that's worth going for at this point in time. Aggie here now currently in Mistwoods. Possibly considering going for the Sacred Flask charges, I think is what he's going for. Going to be grabbing this Grace here right outside Fort Height, while CBD is in Liurnia. CBD possibly grabbing some upgrades. Tom back right now at Stormhill Shack. Chris grabbing Exalted Flesh. What are these teams planning? All right, now Aggie grabbed that holy pot, by the way, upgrading his sword real quick by 1. Doesn't have enough money. Does pop a golden rune here to make sure that he has enough money to upgrade. Grabs that smithing one that's on the anvil as well. Goes ahead and upgrades as far as he can, which is +3. That's only as far as the anvil allows you to upgrade any weapon, is only 3 times +3. So here we are, +3. Flamberge et le croissant. For the Flamberge in chat, please. Thank you very much. Should possibly put in some work. And CBD now currently actually in Haligtree, going for the rune here and the 50,000 rune below, while Tom is going what seems to be for the Dragon Helper check. And maybe Crystal Darts? Staves? Staves! He's going for Staves. Not doing the Dragon Helper check, though. Maybe he did that before and I missed it. Could be as well. Chris possibly grabbing the Sleep Plot recipe here and also the Golden Rune 6 that's at this graveyard. And there it is. Aggy grabbing this Deathbird here in Limgrave as a Limgrave boss and also as a Deathbird boss. But he's got to keep in mind, well, he doesn't know. We got to keep in mind Chris already has 2 Deathbirds down. This might be a huge time sink for Aggy and a bit of a money waste. That is right there a staff for Tom in his inventory while CBD is running towards that Somber 9 and making sure that Urchery does not do Golden Land because it is the only Ash of War that you have a hard time kind of dodging, I would say. That is a little tricky. You can't you can spam roll, but at some point you run out of stamina and then it gets really, really rough. But luckily it does not have that happen to him. Going to jump across here and grab the Golden Rune 10, then drop down and grab the 50k rune. And let's see. Chris going possibly to Caleb now, grabbing the Sacred Blade. That's going to help out with the Deathrite Bird in Liurnia. And let's see. Tom currently still in Liurnia at the highway. Chat, I'm trying to cover as much as I can. If I miss anything, my apologies. Oh, and my food is here, chat. My food. What am I supposed to do, chat? Am I allowed to eat? Probably not. I'll miss something, right? I'll do it later. Here we go. Another Deathbird here for Aggy, but he is behind still because Chris is going now. He already put Sacred Blade onto his Flamberge as well, going straight for that Deathrite Bird in Liurnia, while Aggy currently doing a second Deathbird right now in Weeping. Still, this is worthwhile your time because it's going to be a, nice little Holy Pots here from Aggy. Way quicker fight than Chris. This might actually make him catch up, to be honest. He's got 2 Deathbirds on his book now, too. CBD currently now stuck in a tree, but also currently in Altus. I believe he's going for a Somber 9 weapon because he's going to go for that Altus tunnel here for the Somber 5 and 6. Commentate on the food. And here we go, Chad. This is a bowl of noodles here with a nice little baguette and a chunky chocolate chip cookie. I'm going to be breaking this chip cookie apart here, putting one part in my mouth, put the other part on a napkin. That's actually kind of insane. But we're going to go ahead and grab this spoon here and dip it into the bowl. Let's see what happens. Ooh, and it is tasty. There is the Sacred Blade here coming from Chris. That is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Nice charge R2 again. He should get a stagger here soon on this Deathrite Bird. One jumping R2 should do it. There it is. Nice stagger here from Chris. Holy pot to the dome. Nice Deathrite Bird fight from Chris. Huge. Going to be marking that square on the board here. Deathrite Bird activating that diagonal. Aggie should see now that he just lost Deathbirds. I don't think he sees it. Maybe he did see it. Oh, he definitely sees it now. Staring at the board, thinking, what should I do next? Possibly bulldoze Limgrave bosses, but who knows? That's going to be a huge diagonal proc if he can make it happen. But Chris already kind of on the move. Aggie only has 3 Limgrave bosses, while Chris already has 5. Making his way towards Urchery Burial Watchdog, which is one of the closer fights in Limgrave. Tom here making his way towards what could be Radon, if not just the Smithing 4s that are in Caelid. CBD went for full upgrades, got the Sombers 5 and 6 from Altus Tunnel. Going to be switching over to his Somber weapon. What Somber weapon is he going to commit to, though, is the question. Aggy now in Shifra going to be grabbing what seems to be the Ancestor Spirit Bonfires. Going to be going for killing an Ancestor Spirit, which is column 4, row 1. And maybe also grab the Smithings 2s and 3s in Shifra. That would be a good idea. CBD here froze for me for some reason. I might have to refresh him. Can I refresh him? Is that possible? Can I commentate on my commentating? That was one hell of a beautiful sentence there from Dom, very analytical and making sure that he's covering as much as he can. You really wonder what's going on in his brain. That's probably running at Mach 5, trying to just absorb everything with his 2 eyeballs, looking at 4 screens, looking at 4 players playing to their best in these practice matches. You really make sure that he sees everything on the board while also seeing everything that's going on gameplay-wise. Really great job here from Dom. And Chris here with the Sacred Blade on the Watchdog. Going to be getting a Charge Dart 2 off. Should be able to melt this Watchdog, to be honest. I think it's still a +1 Flamberge. Aggie making sure that he doesn't get lightning struck by these Wisps. I did miss what weapon CBD was upgrading, but I do think he's going to Lake of Rot, or went to Lake of Rot. He is in Lake of Rot, and he's doing Rivers of Blood as his weapon of choice. Scarlet Rotted here now, going for the nice little mini Rot tech. Going to be going for Somber 7s and 8s in Lake of Rot. And let's see here. Chris going to be going to another Limgrave boss, possibly Tibia Mariners. Did Chris miss input? It shows here 4 Limgrave bosses now, not 5. I guess he missed input. Tom here currently in Altus, possibly going to be going for that Altus tunnel as well, grabbing the golden seed from that tree. And yeah, he's going for Tibia Mariners now. Aggie trying to fight off the Ancestors as they're trying to protect their holy grounds. As expected, Aggie, no respect for the dead. And Chris here fighting off the Tibia Mariners. Nice Sacred Blade here. Big, big damage. Grabbing these Trina Lilies. And leaving possibly for another Limgrave boss. Possibly Knight's Cav. That's 5 Limgrave bosses now for Chris. Aggie's still busy grabbing all these bonfires for the Ancestor Spirits. Possibly thinking that maybe column 4 is the way to go, as CBD is currently in Altus. Going to be grabbing maybe a Tree Sentinel Duo soon. I think he's going straight for Godskin Apostle Wormface here. Okay, it looks like that Team Monkey Balls is actually planning on a row 1 rush. That's what it seems like here. CBD can easily burn Godskin Apostle and Wormface as they're both in the same vicinity, and then Aggie going for Ancestor Spirit. That's 3 squares in row 1. And Tommy already on Wormface, though. Going to be promoting that diagonal from the bottom left to top right, as Chris might be working on paintings after Tom. Oh, Tom dinks! Tom dinks off of the rock. It misses a headshot there, but let's see if the Rivers of Blood can actually catch up to the Flamberge that is currently on the screen. Nice bleed proc here for Tom, though, on the Wormface. Has to be careful. It does take a little bit of damage. Deathblight is building up a little bit here, but does make sure that he's not in the gray clouds. Rivers of Blood now on CBD screen, pulling in some action. Definitely a lot more damage. Tom dodging the grab attack, but CBD getting a second bleed already because it's Rivers of Blood. And actually catching up on the damage. Tom has to back off because of the smoke that's coming out. All right, now CBD is backing off. Tom going back in potentially, but CBD actually already caught up with his +8, +9 Rivers of Blood. This might be a snipe here from CBD. Huge Ash of War coming out. Corpse Piler. And there it is. That is a square for Team Monkey Ballers. Very, very huge snipe here from Team Monkey Ballers. They could definitely try and push row 1 now, but CBD actually porting out, not going for the Godskin Apostle in Altus. Kind of an interesting choice. I'd have rushed Apostle right after that square. Aggy currently on Ancestor Spirit. And here it is, Tom going for the Godskin Apostle now. It's not contested. This is a free square for Tom. Possibly not realizing that CBD actually has a +9, if not +10, Rivers of Blood in his back pocket, that even if he did try to go for this, CBD would definitely outperform his weapon and get that kill before him. But lucky for him, CBD decided to not go for it and possibly go for something else here. Aggy's still in this current Ancestor Spirit fight. Decent damage from that stab uppercut coming out, trying to make sure that he possibly gets another stagger. Nice attack here from the Ancestor Spirit. Get some free hits off. Chris here currently still in Limgrave, going for the Duelist Catacomb right now. And has 6 bosses already in Limgrave. This will be his 7th boss. Maybe go for Margit as his 7th, or as his 8th. We'll see. CBD grabbing the Grace and the Golden Seeds right now. And, he's going for Tree Sentinel Duo potentially. He's sitting down. We're going to fix up his flasks and then go for Tree Sentinel Duo as a nice little row 2, column 2 block. Chris here on the Duelist. I was going to say Chris here on CBD for some reason. Tom here, got to be careful that he weird dodges, but very, very effective apparently. On that Godskin Apostle fight. Gets the stagger here. Goes for the riposte. Flamberge putting in some work. There is the Ancestor Spirit fight here now from Aggy. Gets that kill. Very, very, very nice. Phase 2 here on that Godskin Apostle ready for Tom. Tree Sentinel Duo. First Tree Sentinel for CBD. Let's see that Rivers of Blood damage. That is some decent damage for sure. Should get a blood proc here soon, as Corpse Piler does have huge bleed buildup. Another riposte here from Tom on the Godskin Apostle. Gets a possible another bleed proc here soon. And Chris now defeating that Godskin, or not that Godskin, sorry, the Duelist here. Going to be going for his last Limgrave boss, which will be Fisting Godric. So he's going to go for that row 5, column 4 square of Fisting Godric, but then also finish off that center square Limgrave bosses. Tom got to be a little careful here. Does get hit by that Slinky attack. Gets black flamed right in the face. Nice little attack here from Godskin Apostle, though. Should go for a charge dart, too. And Aggy now going for Market here after he claims that Ancestor Spirit attack. And Tom dies! Tom dies! He wasted a minute and a half on this Godskin Apostle. Very, very bad here for Tom, but he does have a Stake of America to make up for it if he does go for it again. He does see that Ancestor Spirit is on the board now, so that block is even more important now to get that Godskin Apostle. He has to go for it. Nice bleed here from Aggy on that Flamberge on the Margit. I don't know why I'm starting to talk like that. I said Z instead of the. Nice secondary Tree Sentinel here, though, from CBD. That Rivers of Blood really putting in a lot of work in this fight. It was out of mana, though. 3 more R1s should do it. There it is. Tree Sentinel Duo on the board now for Team Monkey Ballers, blocking off that row 2, column 2. Market fight also dead here on Aggy's screen. Possibly trying to prep for bow only. Apostle now back on Tom's screen here, already back in phase 2. Should go for a charge dart 2. Does not get the stagger. Has got to be careful. Don't roll to the right. Roll to the left, for God's sake, on that attack. It's always to the left, not the right. Does get the Slinky attack again. Has to make sure that he doesn't get tagged by it, otherwise he might die. And here it is, Chris fisting Godric in his free time. Tries to sidestep that attack, but does still get tagged by Rick. Rick is a very, very seasoned veteran when it comes to sword-to-hand combat. And he knows exactly where to try and pick off Chris's health bar. Now, CBD here, actually at Windmill Village, trying to contest the Apostle, and Tom dies again! He's actually going to lose a square! Tom dies a second time to Godskin Apostle! This is actually CBD going to be able to snag this and possibly promote row 1. Oh no, Tom is tilting. I can smell it all the way from over here. Tom on the tilt machine. He's got to bring it together here. Going to have a really, really close fight. Tom going for that sneaky poise damage, charged R2. Possibly get an advantage here. Both fights are starting at the same time, but currently Tom is in the lead with the charged R2 R1. CBD doing way more damage in an R1 than Tom does with the charged R2. Shows you the weapon difference. Aggy making his way through Stormvale Castle. Again to get that Godric ready. Chris here fighting that Soldier of Godric still with bare fists only. Almost done here. Tom getting that riposte. Getting another charge R2 off. Huge bleed proc here from Tom, but also huge bleed proc here from CBD. CBD had half health. Or not, Apostle had half health on CBD screen. Half health here as well on Tom's screen. However, Tom is going to be a little bit behind here. Huge stagger here on Tom's screen. Goes to go for the riposte. CBD screen. CBD does get tagged. Has to back off. Has to heal. Tom currently in the lead on this Apostle. He has to get two more stagger. He has to get one more stagger. One more stagger here on Tom's screen to actually get the square. Gets another rolling R1, I should say. CBD playing very careful here, but this might actually cost him a square. Huge bleed proc on Apostle on Tom's screen. Huge bleed proc. Huge bleed proc. Tom's got to be a little careful. Nice little roll. Gets a stagger. Tom here actually going to get it. Beats a plus 10 Rivers of Blood. Here it is. No Snipe City here. Tom going to be blocking that row 1 here from CBD. CBD not seeing it. Currently locked in. Oh, does lock off and starts running away. Notices that is actually taken away from him. Very well done here. Very well done. Rune's greatsword check here from Chris as it goes back to Urtree grazing. Does get tagged with a ballista. Has to be a little careful. I'm surprised that CBD did not get that. CBD was playing too passively, I feel like, because he should have definitely have gotten that. He should have definitely have gotten that. 110%. Maybe just bad RNG moves. I'm not too sure. But that should have been, that's a Somber 10 weapon. Somber 9 weapon. One of those two. I don't know. All right, currently 7-5 in the lead here for Star Zero Tom. Tom now currently in Caelid, possibly going to be working on paintings. And Chris now currently in Roundtable. Chris claiming Limgrave bosses and Soldier of Godric Barefist only. That is huge for Team Zero Tom. A lot of blocks here. I think they blocked every single bingo, actually. So right now, this is just a majority game for Monkey Ballers. Team Zero Tom still has row 3, column 3 as 2 optional bingo lines as Tom gets a bomb thrown in his face, grabs the Stone Sword key, and possibly going for the imbued sword key? Oh, no, he's grabbing what seems to be just a sorcery. Very interesting. Staves is still on the board, by the way. That he might actually go grab the Staff of Loss. I don't think he's done that yet. Gets the imbued sword key here. CBD going now into Raya Lucaria. I think he's getting ready for Renala with summons as a square. Staff of Loss here on Tom's screen. I think that's his 3rd or 4th staff. I'm not too sure. Going for Meteorite staff probably after this. And then Aggy possibly going to be going for what seems to be Radon because of Mimic Tier consumables only. Chris here also in Caelid. 3 players in Caelid. Everyone's prepping. How's it going, chat? Yeah, I'm down here. How's it going, guys? Hope you guys are having a good time. Nice little Kukri strat here from CBD, throwing a Kukri against the wall, and then go straight for that nice little skip that you can do here. Let's see if CBD can pull it off first try. Very nice. Very well executed here from CBD. Gets that nice little door skip. Saves you about 10 seconds. Goes straight for what is Red Wolf on the next boss list. I don't know. I'm saying words right now. Filler words. And NPT going to be grabbing the Meteorite staff. Maybe even check the spell. I don't know if he did. Grabs the Meteorite staff, though. Should be able to go straight to tops here. And now Chris going for the other duelists. Going to be doing the Third Church of America skip here. Let's see if he can pull it off. Does get the nice clips on the wall. Does get the double jumps. Very clean from Chris. Very, very clean. These players are sharp. Tom now making his way over what seems to be to the glintstone staff here. And then Chris's duelist being like, how the hell did you get in here? I just furnished this place with rocks and pebbles. Starts beating Chris, the home invader. Chris here going for a jumping R2, gets the stagger, goes for a post. Huge bleed on the duelist. Charge R2 on the duelist as well. Should be getting another stagger here soon. Goes for a jumping R2, staggers, micro staggers the duelist. One more jumping R2 should stagger. There it is. Very nice. Goes for R1s. Gets another bleed. There it is. 2 duelists now. This is column 3 being promoted by Team Star Zero Tom. Team Monkey Ballers kind of trying to respond here. Red Wolf currently on CBD screen melting this poor dog with what seems to be corpse piler. Aggy currently making his way over what seems to be 2 tops, working possibly on staves. Not realizing that imbued sword keys and sorceries seems to be a little bit quicker than what is row 3. CBD possibly going for imbued sword keys instead. He killed Red Wolf and is going straight for the secret hiding passage here, where the imbued sword key is. Tom now doing things and doing stuff. Going to be grabbing the Academy Scroll on top of this ruin and then possibly go for Demi-Human right after this for the Demi-Human staff. Aggy talking to Tops here. Going to be grabbing the sorceries and then kill him probably right afterwards. There it is. Stamp upward cut for Tops. Tops getting sliced across the forehead. And one more R1 should do it, but Tops not having any of it. Still monologuing. Gets spin slashed on. There it is. That's 1 staff here for Aggy. Shard spiral coming out here from that mage, trying to keep CBD away from the rooftops. They just installed new shingles, and next thing you know, you have just a random dude breaking off all the new shingles. I'd be pissed too. Nice little stagger here from Chris here on the mages as he goes for the imbued sword keys. Does get slapped across the back of the head for stealing their own treasure. Another top skill here on Tom's screen. Going to be going what seems to be possibly his last staff. And there it is. 6 staves now for Team Star Zero Tom. Now Lance X and Morgan are on the board here. Aggie should see that staves are taken, so he has to make a choice. Is it row 3 or column 3? Most likely column 3, as it is 12 sorceries and imbued sword keys. That is easier than Lance X Morgot. But he might be going for the long distance call here and going to be going for Radon into Capital. That might be his mindset. Mindset, grindset, as they say. CBD here jumping, trying to get to, I believe, the imbued torch. There it is. Ladder for him. I am so hungry, chat. You have no idea. Urtree Avatar taking a nice little stroll through Halleck Tree as Tom is going to be going for the rune pickup here. One little ipso facto, chat, by the way, this is the Black Knife Assassin chest piece, which normally silences your footsteps. However, this is the altered version of the Black Knife Assassin armors piece, which means you do not have silent footsteps, which is a very weird mechanic or thing in the game. And Chris now making his way to the other imbued sword key at the 4 Tower of Belfries. Tom here going to Selen. A little bit of peekaboo game. Going to be seeing what he can buy for sorceries. He did pick up quite a few already, so he might be sniping Aggie on those sorceries as well, as Aggie bought the 3 sorceries from Tops. And CBD now making his way to the 4 Tower of Belfries as well, but Chris is currently ahead of him. This might be actually a bingo for Team Star Zero Tom. A potential bingo here on the move. Is that 12 sorceries for Tom? He's checking real quick and counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. That is, I'm seeing 13. So that is 12 sorceries. That is the square now for Team Star Zero Tom. Yet again, 10-5. Imbued Sword Keys now is the hot thing on the market. Everybody wants it. CBD is on the way. Chris is there already. Going to be grabbing the Imbued Sword Key. He's going to get his third one real quick. Going to South Briar Lucaria Gate. CBD, however, already has 2 of them. Is going to be grabbing his third one here. He already killed Red Wolf. So this might be actually a snipe from Team Monkey Ballers. Coming out here in just a moment. Aggy now currently in Weeping Peninsula, going to be possibly doing paintings as a potential move. Chris here going up the elevator, going for Red Wolf here to get that Imbued Sword Key. But here it is, Imbued Sword Key for CBD, and he marks it. Huge snipe from CBD, grabs that Imbued Sword Key. Chris right away realizing, oh God, they got the block. Okay, what do I go for next? Lanciax, Morgoth, that's my to-do list. Baby, I'm going to go out shopping. And here we are, going to be going to Murkwater Coast as his choice for Grace. Tom here now currently in Kaled, making his way possibly towards Putrid Crystalline Trio, as it is also still on the board. And Aggy going to be making his way towards the Church of America, going to be grabbing possibly the painting here, and the Sacred Tears. No, he's not even going for paintings. He's just going for a Sacred Flask +7. That's a great idea. However, you still have Lancex and Morgan on the board, Team Monkey Brawlers. You have to respond somehow. Is it Capital Access? Is it Lancex? What do you do next? If anything, it should be Lancex for CBD with a +10. Rivers of Blood, that should be his next move. And it seems to be that he agrees with me and is going that way. Chris here currently back in Limgrave. I think he's going to be completing paintings here while Tom is just having a little bit of a chit-chat with the Grace. Moving his way through what seems to be Putrid Crystalline Trio's cave here. He bought a nice little ticket for $50 to go sightseeing on stalactites and stalagmites. For those that don't know, stalactites are the ones coming out of the ground. Stalagmites are the ones coming from the ceiling, I believe. Other way around? Possibly other way around. That's what I said. Here we are, Lanciax. I'm going to be on CBD's screen here in just a couple of minutes. I can't wait. Someone start a microwave so that thing can ding as soon as he gets there. This is going to be a very interesting Putrid Crystalline fight with a Flamberge. Not a lot of posture decent posture damage. Nice little Celia town skip here, though, from Aggy. Chris trying to do it, but slips off. Butterfingers, more like butter hooves, as they are on Torrent right now. Chat, I am so hungry that if you say butter dog, it's not helping. And here we are, Putrid Crystalline fight here on the screen for Tom. Gets his first riposte on the Spear Crystalline. One of the more annoying ones, I would say. Lancex fight here for CBD, currently going to be on the screen in just a moment here as well. Slides in like it's on a slip and slide, saying, hey, this is my mountaintop. CBD already putting in a lot of work with that Rivers of Blood, Corpse Piler, Ash of War. He's got to be careful, though. Lightning strikes back and forth. Gets the wing flap right afterwards. Gets knocked aside. Saying you have to be this tall for this slip and slide. A little bit of jumping R1 there. Has got to make sure that he's got to heal at some point. There it is. There's the healing. Gets some nice little slashes into the heel of Lanciax. Gets a nice little bleed proc. Almost halfway done. First Crystalline is down here for Tom on his screen. Going for the Ring Blade next. And Aggy here. Now currently also going for Putrid Crystalline Trio. In the cave as well. This might be a little bit of a nice snipe here from Tom. Unintended. Corpse Piler coming out again from CBD. Make sure that he gets those dodges on those electric strikes and slam attacks. Should be able to get a nice little breed block in just a moment here as well. Chris here now going for the last painting reward, which is next to the blue laser golem. This being a little, what would you say, reckless with his jumping, but does get it at the end. Rain of arrows. Boom. There it is. Last reward should be on the way as Lanciax is back hopping on CBD screen. One more bleed proc. There it is. R1. Lanciax first try for CBD. Going to be blocking off row 3. Huge blocks from CBD. First the imbued sword key. Now Lanciax. The next thing, the game. Aggy making his way downtown through Crystallians, walking fast, snails past, and he's homebound. However, he's also on the way to being sniped. There it is. There it is. Future Crescent Trio being marked here from Tom. Boom! As soon as he enters. Yo, nice sightseeing there, Axter. What'd you think of those stalactites and stalagmites? Get the hell out of there. I already got it. Chris here now, currently loading back into the game, possibly going to be finishing his painting rewards, going into Stormvale Castle. Never mind, he's going for mountaintops painting instead. There it is. Double jump, lands on the tree, double jumps again, does not double jump, instead, has more sinister things going on in his head. Dies to gravity. Never mind, he reset. Thank God. Oh, and he misses it again. Tom here going for Margate, possibly prepping for Morgott. I'm not too sure, though, as to what the plan is. There is currently still Colossal, Armament, and Bow only on the board. 11-8 currently for Star Zero Tom. They just need 2 squares. They don't need a bingo line. Monkey Brawlers need to get every single square besides 1. CBD here now with the Dragon Claw. Using his Colossal Armament as an option for Renala. Very nice choice. Uses a Kukri to distract Moongrim for just a hot second. Moongrim acting like he's in a Skyrim game. Here's a sound, and leaves. Classic distraction. Great move from CBD. And here we are, Gostock, as usual, standing at his post, saying, hey, what's up? Nice little fight here from CBD on the Renala fight. Gets to pop the balloons or bubbles. Wow, that is some serious damage. I'm believing this is a +4. This has to be a +4. Some serious Charged R2 damage coming out from CBD on this Dragon Claw. This will be an easy 2-cycle Renala Phase 1, as Aggy is currently in Haligtree, going to be going for some money. Has got to get some cash going, as his damage output is a bit negligible. But I think he's going for the crossbow here, a.k.a. the Crepice's crossbow with the Rot Bolts. Quits out here as the Urchery does do Golden Land right away. Tom here, on the other hand, going through Stormvale Castle, being absolutely shooed off the mountainsides. That crossbow guy was just doing his job and immediately gets stabbed in the kneecap. That's the weak spot for these soldiers. They have no armor down there. Phase 2 here for CBD going into Renala Phase 2. Jumping R2. Very nice. Charged R2 as well. Huge. One more R1 should stagger her if he just runs at her. Boom, there it is. Very huge stagger. Goes for the riposte. This is also a lightning damage, so there's a little bit of a bonus damage because this is a water arena. Goes for another charged R2, and now just has to wait for the summons. Gets the troll as the first summon here on his screen. Now just has to make sure that he gets the other ones as well. Maybe gets lucky. Tom here making his way up the staircase to Godric. CBD waiting out the laser beam, trying to get another summon going. There it is, one more summon. That is the Bloodhound Knight. Daryl showing up saying, hey, what's up? I had nothing else. That's all I had. Sorry. Spinning weapon coming out from Renala. Just get hit in the head one more time. She is really low, but he's got to wait for wolves and for the dragon summon first. Now Chris making his way over to Margit as well. Going to be getting ready. I'm assuming what seems to be either bow only or colossal only as well. No one going for mimic tier consumables only. Very, very interesting. It is a little bit of a time sink for sure, but also at the end of the day, that is an uncontested square at the moment. Chris is still using that flamberge with the Sacred Blade on it. Should hopefully switch to a different weapon at some point, as I believe this is still a +0, if not +3 weapon. There it is, another troll on CBD's screen, absolutely being trolled by these summons. As he gets another blue laser beam as well. This is a bit of a frame trap here from Renala. Nice rolls here from CBD, though. Does roll both attacks. And just hopes now for the dragon. And there it is. There's the dragon. 1R1 straight to the dome. Banana Lady falls to the ground. And on Aggy's screen now, going with the Krepus's crossbow and 99 bolts. Going to try and rot Godric here with the rot bolts and also the normal bolts. This thing reloads really fast. What the hell? Nice little reloading here. 2 more shots should possibly do it for a rot. 1 more shot? 1 more? There it is. There's the rot. Now he's going to go ahead and just shoot some normal bolts straight to the face. Godric winding up with a nice little storm stomp. Something like that. Storm something. And does it again. Saying, hey, if it didn't work out this time, it'll work out the next time. And who knows? Maybe he thinks 3rd time's the charm. He does it again. And he does! 3rd time is the charm. How about you just get hit by this stupid axe? Maybe 4th time is the charm. He's thinking, hey, if I keep throwing wind, I will not get these bolts in my face. There it is, though. Phase 2 now. For Godric going into phase 2. Pulley bow on Tom's screen. Maybe he's thinking, hey, I got pulley bow. I don't have to go for the Krepus's crossbow. Checking the chest, though, real quick, just to make sure that he covers all of his grounds. And gets the light bow with black bolts. Light crossbow with black bolts, I should say. However, Aggy is already on the Godric fight, getting a lot of damage off, and still has the rot going off on Godric as well, making sure that he doesn't get tagged by any of these flame attacks. But Godric keeps on going. Tags Aggy real quick with that flame strike. Goes for another AoE sweep, but misses. Nice little dodge here from Aggy. Gets the same attack again. Aggy has to back off here, but still has enough time. This will definitely be a square for Team Monkey Ballers, as they currently are 12-10. Team Star Zero Tom just needs 1 more square. That is the kill here for Godric now for Team Monkey Ballers. Team Monkey Ballers claiming Colossal Armament only on a weapon, and also the Renala Square really brought them back into the game here. This will bring them to 12-11 as CBD is possibly getting ready for Morgott, going for this Radahn fight here for Capital Access. This will be a huge time sink. Hopefully, Tom does see it, and he does. Quits out immediately as he sees that square being marked. 12-11 currently for Star Zero Tom. What's his choice going to be next? Is it Mimic Tier? Is it Morgott? Who knows? Same for CBD, actually. He could go for Mimic Tier or Morgott. But he does have 2 Remembrances or 2 Great Runes after this, so I think Capital is the next priority here for CBD, especially with the +10 weapon. Chris here making his way towards Radahn as well, possibly either for Capital or for Mimic Tier. Who knows? We'll find out in just a moment. This match definitely taking a bit longer than I expected, but definitely a very, very good match. I'm slightly dying, chat. My vocal cords are frying, and I need food. We're down here on CBD screen. Both Tom and Chris pretty much in sync, making their way over to Radon's little birthday party. They were not invited, but they are crashing. CBD here going straight for the Corpse Piler. Ash of War already dealing massive amounts of damage. Should be getting a bleed proc here soon. There it is. Huge bleed proc for CBD. Not even going for his cheese. His damage just way more than the cheese ever would. So he's going straight for more Corpse Piler. Going to be going for some more R1s. Doesn't roll in front of the AoE, so sadly does not one-cycle Radon, but it is very, very close. You're going to be getting on his horse. Everybody else is showing up to the birthday party just a little bit late. Radon is already busy with CBD. Go do something else, guys. There it is. CBD going to be putting in the last hit that he needed to on Radon there. Grabbing the second Great Rune and the Remembrance of Radon. Star Scourge. Chris is showing up to the birthday party with nothing but some holy pots and a flamberge +3 with determination on it. Not a bad Ash of War. Tom here with the same weapon, which is weird. Both Tom and Chris never went for a somber weapon upgrade. And I think this is the only edge that Monkey Ballers currently has, is that CBD has this very, very strong Rivers of Blood on his side. And Tom here, or CBD here, currently in Altus, making the choice of going for Morgott. Both Tom and Chris both starting at the same time, deloading and reloading Radon as you would any PC that has any issues. You uninstall, turn it off, turn it back on, and it works. Okay, well, not for Chris. He just got hit. But Tom, though, currently on horseback, getting some R1s off. Some charged R2s maybe as well. Nice little roll here from Tom. CBD here. Monkey Ballers have to get both squares. They both have to get Mimic Tier and Morgott. So CBD going for the long distance call here either is a great choice or a really, really bad choice. But either way, both players on Star Zero Tom are currently working on Radon, so he's got advantage either way. Yeah, chat, I'm down here, guys. Hi, you can see my hand wave. Hi, I'm down here. Aggy now joining the fight, saying, hey, everybody's having a party. I'd like to join. Brings in Lionel and everybody else summons Weiss. Using still the Crepus's crossbow with the Rot. A great idea just for bonus damage, just to make this just a little bit faster as much as he can. He should be able to get another Rot proc off here on Radon. Just a moment here. Just a couple more bolts should do it. Isn't that like the slogan of Home Depot? Couple more bolts and it looks great. 3 Radons on the screen. Chris has got to be a little careful here. Get some nice dodges off, but also really, really low on health. Does double heal here. But sadly, gets really bad move RNG. Tom here already kills his Radon. CBD currently on DTS. Gets the AoE Lightning Strike. Quick little PTSD from Lance Axe, but luckily dodges all of them. Make sure that he might get another bleed proc here on DTS, possibly, potentially, perchance. Nice roll here. Does get the AoE strike, though. Has to leave. Oh, and does get struck by lightning. Roll some of the AoE effects. Heals back up. Aggy now currently still in his Radon fight. Chris has his Radon fight down, possibly going to Capital. And Tom here fighting Godric now. Team Star Zero Tom is really, really behind. Chris here going what seems to be for Mimic Tier consumables only. So this might actually be the winning square for Team Star Zero Tom if Chris goes for that right now. He is currently ahead of Aggy. Aggy just finishing his Radon fight now. And Tom currently still on Godric. Chris getting Fulgur Blooms for the lightning pots. and then going straight to Murkwater Coast. No, he is not. He's going to Aggy Lake North instead. Does he have the recipe, though, is the question. CBD making his way currently through the capital, realizing, holy shit, real estate prices here are insanely good. I'm going to invest. Who would like to rent his first apartment? So many homes available. So many homes. Aggy here showing off that he does have the lightning pot recipe, but also going for Fulgur blooms just the way Chris did. But Chris is already on the way. Tom here now pumping strength to the max. Never mind switching from strength to some strength and some dex. And then going straight what seems to be for Morgott. Both teams now really trying to contest both squares. This will be a very close nail-biter of an ending. If Aggy is able to snipe the one-shot Mimic Tier consumables from Chris, then they will win. However, Chris is here first. Aggy a little, what seems to be confused looking, not knowing what to do or where to... Doesn't have any mushrooms. He doesn't have any mushrooms. Aggy doesn't have any mushrooms for the lightning pots. Starts porting away, grabbing the mushrooms for the Liurnia, from the Liurnia merchant. Just as disappointed as any Colorado citizen, no shrooms. No shrooms on the market. Tom here now making his way towards Capital, currently going to be fighting DTS, while CBD already on his way, what seems to be 2 gold free. Gotta make sure that Lightning Strike doesn't strike. However, if you run fast enough, it will not. Lightning strikes only once, as CBD is going to be running up the tree branch here. Chris making his way towards the Mimic Tier consumables only. Definitely ahead by at least a minute on Aggy. Aggy making his way down the pillar now. If Chris just gets this one shot, he is good to go. How many pots does he have? Checking his level up, making sure that he's got level 29 on Dex. That should do it. Tom here fighting the DTS now with Stamp Upward Cut on the Flamberge. Not a lot of damage, but does have the Poison Grease. Gets a stagger on the DTS here. Going to be getting a poison off as well. CBD climbing up that branch and making his way into the gold-free arena. This should be a very quick fight for him, as it is a +10 Rivers of Blood. And Aggy now almost at the Mimic Tier as well, but Chris is definitely ahead by that. Oh, one of the guys just fell off on Aggy's screen. He got a little distracted. Nice little bleed proc here for Tom here on the DTS. Gets to dodge that lightning strike hammer throw. But CBD already halfway through this gold-free fight. Lots and lots of damage coming out here on CBD. That Somber 10 weapon really, really paying off here for Monkey Ballers. Here it is. Chris lining up his shot. Throws it. Is it good? Holy shit. Completely overthrows it, but there we go. Consumables only on Mimic Tier. And there it is. GG's to Team Star Zero Tom. Snags that last square, 13-11, while Aggy is currently almost right in front of the door, realizing he is too late to the party. GG's to Star Zero Tom.